Hi guys, welcome back. This is part 5 of the original The Bigfoot series, and this is the last video in the basic body series. In this video, we're sewing everything together. So even if you know how to sew amigurumi together, please watch this video because I'm going to give you some helpful tips on getting those legs on just right. So at the beginning of the video, we're going to sew on the sitting legs first, and then we'll get to the standing ones. So if you're just here for the standing ones, you'll fast forward, about 4 minutes or so after these ones start. So you're going to need a blunt end yarn needle. That's the one that works best for sewing amigurumi together. I don't know the exact size, I just know it has a blunt end and a nice big eyelet for the yarn. Alright, grab your needle and let's get started. Now we'll sew on the legs, and the legs are sewn on differently depending on if your animal is going to be a sitting position, like this little piggy. See, his legs are sewn underneath the body. Or if you want it in a standing position, this cow, the legs are sewn on the side. And we have already sewn up the top of the legs according to what we had decided before. So we're going to do the sitting position first. So these legs go underneath the body like this. I've already threaded my one yarn tail. I'm just going to whip stitch the edge of the leg to the body. So I'm going to go into the body and then come up through the edge of the leg, into the body and through the edge of the leg, and do that straight across. We need to add another row of stitches across to hold that leg up. Okay, I'm just going to add one more there. Now bring my yarn tail out anywhere, and I'm going to knot it off. So I'm just going to wrap around a stitch post, and before pulling all the way through, go through that loop and pull tight. Pull on it slightly and cut. And our first leg is sewn in, so let's do our second leg. So just like that. So the same thing as the last one, we're going to whip stitch across the edge to the body. Okay, now I'm going to do one more row a little lower down. I'll bring it out here. I'll wrap around a stitch post. Before pulling it all the way through, go through that loop and then pull tight. Bring it out anywhere, pull on it slightly and cut. The legs are sewn on. There's one thing I don't like, and that's this little bit here. It's kind of sticking out a little bit funny. So I just threaded another strand of yarn, and I'm just going to fix that. So I'm going to bring the strand of yarn through the body and through that little bit that's sticking out. So see, I've come through there, and now I'm just going to pull it. See how it sucks it into the body there? So I'll go back in, and I'll come out somewhere else, and I'll pull on that and see what we get. Oh yeah, much better. See, it just brought in that little piece there. I'm not going to do anything else, so I'm just going to knot this off then, just to hold that in place. Go through that loop, pull it tight, bring it through, and I want to knot off this one as well. If you pay attention to little tiny details like that, it makes a huge difference in the finished amigurumi. Okay, now we'll do the standing legs. So let's thread our yarn tail. So I can already see, even though I don't have any eyes on this one, that I've shaped it in the way it was designed, so it's wider here. So this will be the tummy, this will be the front, and I'll put the legs on the side here. So the next thing I want to do is find the leg that has the color change pointing the right way, and it's this one here. So I'm just going to put it on the side. Just like that. And now I'm just going to whip stitch the top of the leg to this row right here. Okay, I'm going to go through and then through the side of the leg and go right next door, going through and through the again right next door, okay. Now I'm going to bring this yarn tail through and then through like that, so I'm wrapping around the end or the edge, and that's it. These guys, see, their legs go side to side. Alright, and that's it. That's all there is for that one. It is fully sewn on, and I'm just going to bring this anywhere. I can go right to the back and I could sew that little bit down to the side. There. Now I'll just bring it through anywhere, and I'll knot off. And then cut it free, and then we'll sew the second leg on. So the only thing awkward about this is just making sure that you have it on the right row, and I can see it right here, and that you have it spaced right. Okay, right about there. So I'm going to wrap around this row here, and again bring the needle through the top of the leg and pull. So right beside there, and then go right into the second stitch over, and just make sure that it's not going to be too far forward when you do the remaining stitches, because I've done that. So I'm just going to push it there and see, yep, still looking good. Okay, go right next door, wrapping around that row and through the top of the leg, and then again. Okay, now I can bring it through and go to the back. There. Okay, now I'm going to do this stitch down here and do the back of the leg right here, and then through and out through the body. So you can see that didn't take much to stitch those in. That was just what, 6 whip stitches across. So 4 across the top and then 1 on each side, and they're sewn in there pretty good. So the only thing to watch for is that they're being sewed to the right row and that they're evenly spaced, and don't sew them completely in and then check it out, because it's kind of hard to undo yarn stitches. So put in like 2 like I showed you, and then stop and make sure that they're even and everything. Okay, and just like the legs on these colored ones, you want to make sure that the color change is pointing towards the body. And these go right in line with the legs. So there's going to be 1 row between the top of the arm and the head. And again, it's just a couple of whip stitches across the top. So we'll just wrap around that row, go through the top of the arm, now I'm going to go into the body and out anywhere where it feels comfortable. Pull it. Now going back through the same stitch hole I just came out of and come up underneath, and then go through the arm. Down through the body and out through the back. I can stitch on either side just to keep the arms down. Down through the body and up on the other side. Through the arm and out through the back. Now I'll knot off. Okay, same for the other one. Just make sure it's all in line before you do any sewing. Right about there. Going through the body and then right back up and through the arm. Then down into the body and out anywhere where it's comfortable. Going back through that same stitch hole we just came out of and up through the body, through the top of the arm. Then down into the body and out anywhere where it's comfortable. And that's sewn in. I just like to put the stitches on the side of the arm, just it holds the arm down. And I like that. You can leave it as is. So I'll go through and underneath the arm, wrapping backwards, down into the body, and out directly in front of the arm. That's a little too far away, so I'm going to come up a little bit closer. There we go. Down into the arm and out anywhere. Now that's just one way to sew them in. If you find sewing them in another way is easier for you, then do it another way. Just because I do something doesn't mean it's the best way. It's just the way I do it. And there we go. Alright, so for the sitting ones, it depends on how it feels to you. Like this one here is a little bit more floppy. I sewed the legs on a little bit more floppy, you can see, and the arms are a little bit more floppy. So I sewed them pretty much exactly how I sewed this guy here. And when I sit them, I can actually move the arms in front if I wanted to. It all depends on how it feels to you. If everything feels a little bit tighter, then maybe you want to sew the arms in the very front, so they sit kind of in between the legs. If that's the case, then you want to sew them on a bit of a slant. So I've decided to sew mine in on a slant, and this is the same character I was working on this entire series. I just turned the legs around because these eyes are actually too small for a character that I just thought of last night after I finished filming. And yeah, so I just want to try out some different parts on this. And you might see it pop up on my blog one of these days. So they're sewn on exactly the same way these ones are. You just whip stitch across the top. As soon as you get that position figured out, then you just whip stitch it in. And these only take a couple stitches. And it's done. He looks funny with his eyes in the back of his head. I'm going to be giving this guy bigger eyes after I'm done filming here. And then you'll have to watch my blog to see what character comes up there. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of this video. Now you have your basic body made. You can turn it into anything you want to. And I have those parts available on my blog. We have the goat, and a horse, a hippo, and a pig, and a bunch more. Like you saw, there was the cow, and we have a unicorn, and of course there'll be more added over time. Today we do have the goat available here on YouTube. So this also has a written pattern, but that written pattern also has a YouTube video to go with it. So you'll be making this here in any color you want. You don't have to choose gray and white. You'll be making this basic body, and then you'll head over to the video that's popping up on your screen, and I'll show you how to make the muzzle and the tail and add a beard and all that good stuff. Oh, and the horns too, in the ears. And then we'll sew it together on film. So that's it guys. Hopefully you had fun, and remember, subscribe to my channel because there'll be more videos available in this series as time allows, and you want to get notifications each time I upload. Alright, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you super soon.